I would like to get into a little bit the carried shame that comes through on pushing, whether you're staying, whether you're going.
So carried shame is kind of an interesting animal, right? And I would say I've never really worked with somebody who is dealing with betrayal who doesn't have carried shame. There's something about being cheated on, experiencing infidelity, where there is sort of this automatic shame that washes over the person. That somehow I have done something to create this dynamic where my partner has cheated on me. And if you're female in our culture, I think I talk about cultural carried shame, because there's actually like this in our culture. It's sort of like, if your partner cheated on you, well, why can't you keep your man if you're female? And then if you're female and you're the one who cheated, then it's like, well, what's going on there? You're now like there's the slut shaming piece. There's the. So it's almost like no matter what's happening, the female is getting blamed in the relationship culturally. There's a lot of cultural carried shame there. So because of that, I think the minute infidelity enters into a relationship, the betrayed partner often feels an enormous amount of shame. And carried shame is when somebody else has basically acted outside of their value system and done something offensive, and yet the shame from that comes over onto you. So you haven't actually done anything wrong, and yet the shame from the cheating and the behavior comes over, and you start to carry that shame, and it starts to affect how you think about yourself, what you believe about yourself, how you act and operate in the world, because now you're kind of awash in that shame. So that's what carried shame is. And I think every betrayed partner deals with it to some degree. And I was taught about carried shame by Pia Melody way back many, many years ago. And Pia has a great saying that you can't heal carried shame because it belongs to somebody else. The only thing you can do with carried shame is to give it back and to not carry it. And it's making me think, I was just coaching somebody on Monday in our coaching program, and they were like, well, how do I get my partner to take their shame back? And I was like, they don't need to take it back. Like, they don't need to have anything to do with this. Like, this is you. It's like you've picked up a sack of rocks and you can put the sack of rocks down. Like, you don't have to carry it. It doesn't matter what your partner is doing. It doesn't matter if they are willing to own their part in things, not willing to own their part in things, doesn't matter at all. You don't have to carry the shame from the behaviors that have happened. And it's your work to be able to release that and let go of it.
That's hitting. That carried shame cannot be healed because it isn't yours. The only thing you can do is give it back. Mm-hmm. I personally have spent, and it's in so many different areas of my life. I can apply that, not just in this, in that place that I have like, oh, this is mine. This is my shame to heal. And no wonder it hasn't been working. No wonder I couldn't heal it, because I was trying to do it instead of giving it back. That hits on such a deeper level.
Yeah, I think for a lot of people, I mean, to me, when I was trained in this idea, it was, again, with Pia Melody and her developmental trauma model. And it was really looking at the carried shame that we experience in childhood. If our parents are not parenting us well, we often think that's happening because something's wrong with us. And so there's carried shame that's childhood carried shame. So that's how I learned about the concept, was really helping people work with that piece. But as I worked with betrayed partners, I'm like, this carried shame is right here in this adult dynamic as well, and has to be dealt with.
We were meant to be. We were meant to be.